And that's where we begin with coronavirus. The scale of the coronavirus crisis is growing dramatically all over the world. There are now more than 1 million reported cases of illnesses, Anthony, and nearly 1/4 of those cases are right here in the United States.
Yeah, Gail, the numbers continue to surge in hotspots like California, Michigan, Louisiana, Florida, and especially, of course, New York. Medical resources are stretched to capacity and beyond. In New York, the Navy hospital ship Comfort was supposed to help relieve that pressure by handling non-coronavirus patients. But as of now, just 20 of its 1,000 beds are being used. We start with our lead national correspondent, David Begnaud, who's at New York's Javits Convention Center, which is now a military field hospital. David?
Anthony, look, it was never supposed to be a hospital that accepted COVID patients. The idea is this would accept the overflow. But yesterday, the governor of New York asked the president, Mr. President, will you accept COVID patients here and let the military run it? And the president said yes. About 25 blocks north of where we are is where the U.S. naval ship Comfort is docked here in Manhattan. And Anthony, one hospital executive told the New York Times it is absurd that the military would send a big old ship like that and park it here and not accept COVID patients. The hospitals are overloaded. The ship's got 1,000 beds, but it only has 20 patients. The question now is, will the governor of New York go back to the president and ask him, will you let that ship start accepting COVID patients?
The things that I see in the ER are scary.
This is a video diary from Dr. Matthew Bai. In it, he's describing what he says he sees every day at Mount Sinai Hospital in Queens.
You can see all the rooms are filled. Usually these halls are very neat and empty. And now you can see there's patients everywhere because of this.
Some nurses in the Bronx took to the streets Thursday to protest the lack of personal protective equipment.
Every day when I go to work, I feel like a sheep going to slaughter.
New York is one of several states where the governor continues to say they are low on ventilators.
At the current burn rate, we have about 6 days of ventilators in our stockpile.
Take Louisiana. They've requested 14,000 ventilators, but they've received fewer than 500 from the federal government. An admiral who's leading FEMA's supply chain task force confirmed that federal supplies are not going directly to the states. They are going to a middleman distributor, and governors say that's when they're forced to bid against each other for the equipment.
We have not gotten a line on any additional ventilators.
Meanwhile, in Richmond, Virginia, 16 people have died at a rehab facility where more than 100 residents there tested positive.
Despite the best efforts of the medical staff, we're still seeing really significant spread.
In New Jersey, nearly 1 in 3 of the long-term care facilities have at least one positive case. This crisis has hit very close to home for Daniel Drum. He's a member of the New York City Council. 5 of his friends have died from the virus so far.
Whenever somebody goes into the hospital, my thinking is, will I ever see them again? Will they ever come out?
The mayors of New York and Los Angeles are now asking their residents to wear masks, scarves, anything they have to cover their faces. And we're waiting to see if the president and the CDC may issue that same guidance today. Tony, get this. Here in New York State, the need for personal protective equipment is still so real that yesterday the governor posted a tweet saying, if you can manufacture PPE, I implore you to do so. We will pay you a premium, and please email us at this address. That's the state of where things are right now.
It says a lot there, David. Begnaud for us in New York. David, thank you.